Hello everyone, hope everyone is doing well. So welcome to another tutorial in Xero, which I'm really excited to show you guys about. So I've got here Xero on my screen. You can see my screen at the moment. So what we'll cover in this video is basic settings that you should know when you are accessing Xero. To access the settings in Xero, you just have to click on the drop down menu here. Once you click on the drop down menu, you would be able to see a lot of options which we would cover off in basic details, but there are a few things that you should know in detail while working with Xero. So I will just go through one by one of these ones, and then we'll cover off settings in details, and we'll also cover HubDoc a little bit in detail, which I think is important if you're doing bookkeeping, right? So files. Now file option is present in Xero. The main function of providing these files is that you can upload the files that you want. It will work like a Google Drive for you. Anyone who has access to Xero would be able to find these files. So it's kind of a place where you can dump all the files in here. You can also create folders in Xero and can save these files in Xero. But practically, I haven't seen people using these options much, but it's something that you should know about. You can also create contracts and put put things in there. You can also create your own folders based on your own preference, and you can add files in those folders in here. So it's up to you how you want to use this functionality, but essentially consider it is the place where you can save the files in here. And one more thing, you've also got a email address. You can use this email address. You can send file directly on this email address, and those files will just land up in this folder here, which then you can later classify based on your preference. So that's one of the functionalities that Xero gives to you. The most important setting or thing that you would be using here in Xero is settings. This is the most important options out of all that we've got in here. So I'm going to click on settings. Once you click on settings, you could see basic settings that is available on your screen right now. There would be few settings that you might have to access a lot, but there might be few settings which you would just access once, and that's about it. And if you want to go to advanced settings, which you can't find in settings, you can also click on looking for advanced settings, and it's going to give you some additional options which you can't see on your screen before. So I'm going to go back on the first option which we have got here. As we've just recently set up the organization, so we need to put in more details in this page right now. So we'll continue setting up our organization, and we'll add the organization's details in here. So at this moment, it's saying that if you want to put your mobile number here, you can add your mobile number and you can verify it. So I'll leave that portion with you. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put basic information details of my business in here. So I'm going to upload my logo in here. So I've uploaded my logo in here. It has to be less than 1 MB, otherwise Xero won't take it. In case if it's more than 1 MB, then you'll have to compress it. The industry we have already entered on the first stage, so it's already taking it. Now the option that it's asking is organization type. So our organization type is a company, so we'll select that. You can select individual, partnership, or superannuation fund, whatever is applicable to you. It's going to ask for the ABN number, so you can put any ABN number that you are aware of. So we'll just put in a test ABN number in here for the time being. So Xero is giving us an error that the ABN number is not valid. If you want to put the organization details in here, you can put in the organization details. You can also put in the postal addresses of your company here. So I'm just going to put in the postal addresses, and if your physical address is same as your postal address, so you can click on this link. Otherwise you can enter the address in here. So I'm just going to click as same as postal address. Now it's asking for the email address. I'm just going to put my email address in here. It's going to ask us for the website, so I'm putting my website details in here. You can put as much as details in here, which is going to be useful for you later when you try to send the invoices. So I'm just going to click on here. I'm not going to put the Facebook and the LinkedIn details in there. So once I hit save, because I've not entered a valid ABN number, it's giving me an error. So I'm just going to find the ABN number that we have for organization right now, and I'm going to enter it. So you can find ABN number for any organization by going at the ABN lookup website. This is how the website looks like. So if I just put in the legal name of our entity here, it is going to give me the ABN number that we have. So this is the ABN number that we have. So I'm just going to put our ABN number details in here, and then it's going to find the organization name that we have, and then once I hit save, it should be able to save it. Yeah, and you can see here the settings have been saved. So you can see we've just put in the organization details that we needed. Now if you want to add a new user, you can click on this option where it says user. Now at the moment you can see I'm the only user who's got access to managing the users. I've also got access to payroll, I've also got access to reports, I can also change the bank account details, and I've got a standard access. Now if I want to invite someone to my Xero, I can just add a user by clicking on invite a user. I can enter the details of that person in here. I can also provide access to different things in Xero. So I'll give access to this particular person, which is me. That's my official email address that I've got in there. So I can give access of a payroll admin. I can also give access to business and accounting. So when you click on business and accounting, you get you need to choose from the options that you are providing to the user. If you want to give someone an access just to raise invoices, you will just click on invoice only. And if you give this person access only to create the draft invoices, then you will only click create draft invoices. But if you want to give someone access to the whole sales items, then you can click on that. If you want to give access to someone for creating the bills for you, which you would pay later, then you can click on this option. If you want to also further give actions to those people once to even approve these, then you would have to give them action to approve and pay those invoices. You can also give access to people to add the banking details. This would be necessary if you're paying everyone through Xero using an ABA file. Then you would have to click on this option as well. Now the other option that we've got is the standard options, which covers basically everything. But if you click on this button, the person would have access to the basic reports that is there in Xero, and they would also be able to create the sales and purchase invoices. If you want to give this person further an access to invite someone in invite users, then you can click on this. If you want to give access to submit the batch directly from Xero itself, then you can click on this option as well. Now the next option which you've got here is an advisor options. Now the advisor options is basically anything that is there in standard would be covered in advisor, but on top of that they would have access to certain reports which a standard user doesn't have. That can be cash coding, that can be manual general, but that's some I mean, like, that is something which a tax agent or a tax provider should have access to. And if you want to give someone just a read-only access because they are auditor of a company, then you can just click on the read-only option. So I'm just going to click on advisor. And I'm going to take full access in Xero. If you want to personalize your message, you can also personalize your message. Otherwise, you can just send an invite. Once you send that invite goes to that person. Once they accept it, they would create their own Xero account. And once they log in, they should be able to find your entity. And let's assume that this person has already created an account with Xero before because somebody else would have invited it. Then in that particular case, they should be able to log in into Xero using their existing login ID and password. Once they log in using their existing ID and password, they should click on this drop down menu in here, and they would be able to see all the organizations they have access to. So that's pretty much it in this video. They would also need to accept the invitation that has come from you if they've already got an access to Xero before, as they've already created an account with Xero before.